if you're watching us on TV or podcasts, you may see Andy's hand come over the screen in very like giant like fashion. We've had a lot of technical problems over the years, but this was the first one, Andy.
This was
This
a first, yeah. But we're here, Dave. We're here. We're both back in gray again. So but we're here, Dave. Importantly, we're here, going to the long holiday weekend. Like there's a lot. There's a lot. We got a lot that we can cover. A lot of positive things we can even cover. So
you said positive? I'm sorry, I missed
yeah,
that.
I mean, it's yeah, positive. It's a long weekend. It's a
Oh, yeah.
holiday coming up. I mean, there's good things. Good things.
Yeah, yeah, we'll speak them into existence, Andy. So
Manifest.
manifest them out. It is the holiday weekend, Andy. We've got our big holiday jaunt coming up this
That's right.
Monday.
That's right.
We'll see if anybody wants to join us. We'll probably put more information out about that at the end of the pod here
Yeah.
today.
Yeah.
Unless I forget, of course, Amy, because I'm just going through the motions here. But it's rainy here. It's supposed to rain here for the next several days. It's good.
Yeah.
We need the rain, but as I continue my old guy segment of talk about the weather.
It does that. Your knees hurt and how the arthritis gets worse when it's cold outside.
Yeah, it's weird too. I had this little rash on my hand. Yeah, it's all those fun things, of course, Andy,
Right.
that go through. But yeah, we're here on a Friday. It's a Memorial Day weekend. If you're working today, maybe your people are taking off early, so it might be a light day for you. We're hoping you have a great day today, because Andy, we've got a lot to talk about here today.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. A lot. A lot.
Okay, probably a little more politics leaning today, but then we have our likes and dislikes, and that maybe includes some politics. I don't know, Andy.
Mine does. Just well, I can tell you right now, mine fucking does. It's
Okay,
not in the
it's been
likes
a
category.
like Andy. We had the shitty scale. On the shitty scale, this one would go to 11 this week. So, but
This week's pretty big. Yeah. Yeah. Concur. Concur.
yeah, okay. So let's jump into some things today. We'll start off, Andy. I want to continue to follow up on the this slush fund. I can't. The slush fund is just crazy, and I think this might be the straw that breaks the Republicans' back, Andy. At least it seems like the Senate Republicans are in full revolt. They've
Yeah.
had a closed door meeting with the acting attorney general, who also doubles as Trump's personal attorney, and we're starting to raise a lot of questions because the president tried to put this $1.8 billion into the bill that would fund DHS,
Yeah.
specifically ICE and stuff. So, one, people hate this already, for one. Now you're going to add $1.8 billion. Andy, what's the Republican running platform for when they run for election in the midterms that the Democrats aren't going to exploit? He voted not this senator, Republican, or Republican congressman voted not to impede the president's war powers going to Iran, voted not to provide you any funding or support while gas prices went up the wazoo, and as your grocery bills continue to go up, voted for a president who continues to say he doesn't care about the financials of the American people, but wants to vote for, continue to push the ballroom and this fucking ridiculous arch. Again, things nobody wants, but he wants to do. And then now, on top of all that, they would vote to this $1.8 billion slush fund for convict individuals who have been convicted of crimes, been pardoned, and now can claim that they've been discriminated against. Andy, I mean, like the Democrats should win every election next
Yeah.
year. I mean, if
Yeah.
you're an individual voting for a Republican who stands on those principles, good gravy, people. Like, fuck, I don't know. So.
I mean, it's so many things coming to a head at once, right? But you're absolutely right. So many things are just repulsive to the American people. This touches on my dislike, and we can come back to it. I'll mention it then. But the you mentioned obviously the 1776 fund. I don't know why you hate America and patriotism, Dave, but you hate the 1776 fund.
Oh, fuck.
Nobody wants this. Like nobody wants the people that are coming out to say they're going to start making claims. It's just the worst. It just exemplifies why it's such absolute bullshit. So you've got this on one hand. Republicans don't know what to do with it, don't want it. You've got the ballroom, Dave. You guys where senators can't even not trip over themselves in trying to call it ballroom funding. They're trying to call it it's security funding. It's ballroom funding. Nobody wants it. Again, nobody wants it. The American people certainly don't want it. Congress doesn't want it. That's coming. They're coming at the same time, and you've got this fucking arch that's coming together with the president referencing back to the Congress, Dave, of 1924 to
Unbelievable.
rationalize why he can pursue the bill because he respects the Congress of 1924. He's carrying out the will of the American people from Dave a fucking century ago, which goes against everything our founders established when they said we should not be, limiting the future based on the decisions of the past and the laws of the past. And he wants to go back referencing something 102 years old to justify his fucking little statue that he wants to build, the arch in the middle of DC. It's just so much bullshit coming ahead at once. Probably looking at this and say, okay, we're going to get to Memorial Day. We're going to go into the summer and everybody's going to hate us. They're going to hate us and what we've done, what we haven't done. Sports. Meanwhile, we're talking about ratcheting up events with Iran. At the same time, it's a disaster. I mean, funding wise, a disaster. It's just an absolute fucking mess. And so people are tired of it. They're tired of it, Dave, as they should be, as we all should be. It's a joke. It's a joke of this presidency. It's a corrupt regime that we're dealing with. And Congress is finally starting to say, we can't do this. Like, we can't do this. We're going to get kicked out of Congress, out of the Senate.
Yeah, I mean, there's real risk that they could lose the Senate
Yeah.
because of this, and that was seemed to be pretty secure. Andy, let me just give you some like the people who are already claiming some of this or trying to claim some of this money, and they even though there's no process, there's no nothing,
Nothing.
they have already announced what they're going to do. So let me just say this. So, for example, the Proud Boys leader, he was sentenced to 22 years
Yeah.
for seditious conspiracy. He planned to so he could get 2 to 5 million. I'm not greedy, but my life was all fucked up because of this. Hey, how about not fucking attacking the Capitol and trying to do all this shit that you were on camera doing? Which,
Yeah.
if it were any other event, you would be in jail for all of that. Okay, so that's just one, Andy. How about the Mike Lindell
Yeah.
going to claim 400 million? This is the My Pillow person who's an election denier, spent tons of things going on and spreading conspiracies and lies. It's horrific that our government can do this. It will be a blessing to get my employees made whole who are stockholders in My Pillow.
Yeah.
How about Michael Cohen, the former lawyer slash fixer? He told NBC News that, he just drafted up a letter and he's on his third rendition. He wanted to be perfect because, Mike, hey, look, Michael Cohen has been persecuted. Yeah, it's clear. How about this guy, Brandon Fellows? I put my number at $30 million. According to ChatGPT, this is where he's getting it from. I'm in the top 3 to 5% of how strong a case I have. How I rationalize people getting paid for J6 is because the government set it up, and on top of that, they stole the election. Oh, this is great, Andy. How about the family
Stole.
members of people who have been involved here, where they have family members who were convicted in a court then pardoned. Their families were subjected to horrible atrocities, Andy.
Yeah.
Hey, how about this? Don't fucking attack the Capitol. There's a picture. A woman is going to claim $30 million. There's video evidence of her using a battering ram to break the windows of the Capitol. Oh, okay. We're supposed to give her $30 million. What the fuck, Andy?
Yeah, yeah, and the same thing is like you said. There's no process to this. It's just giving money away to those that have stood by the president, and it's just paying for their support, right? So they'll be there when the president wants to riot again after they get their asses kicked in November. He's going to come back and look for these people to support him, right? And he's buying votes, he's buying support with taxpayer dollars. But Dave, God willing. God willing, this thing just gets cut off, right? Republicans want nothing to do with this poison. Thank goodness. Thank goodness. Nobody wants this. Congress has a chance to at least push back on this president a little bit and say, look, this is blatant, in your face corruption, and we're funding the worst of the worst. Mike Lindell, who's thrown out that he might run for governor of Minnesota, by the way, Dave. So
Fucking great.
So
He did have
it's
Jesse the Body, Andy, so I don't know.
oh my God, Dave, I'm down with Jesse, but like it's just an embarrassment for this nation that we've been having this conversation, but we are because of who we've elected for president. And look, Republicans have a chance to at least hold on to some semblance of their souls and just reject this bullshit. Reject this bullshit, say no, and turn this stuff down. And look, the arch, I don't know how fast that thing's going to be built. Hopefully it won't be built before November, and hopefully Democrats can cut that off as well when they get into the House, because this is just it's just a waste of American money at a time when Americans are struggling, interest rates are high, gas prices are high. The president says he doesn't care. It's just so many tragic comedy things happening at once that it should reveal exactly who this man is all about. But still, 30% of America thinks it's fucking great.
Yeah, no, that's exactly right, Andy. I just this is causing the rise of what they're calling YOLO Republicans now,
That's right.
Andy.
That's
These
right.
have individuals who have nothing to lose. So you look at Cassidy, you look at Massey. Again, they may have been inclined to vote Republican on some things. They have nothing to lose at this point, Andy. They still have 7 months in office.
That's right.
Fuck, they're gonna like, and there's others who are on the line too. These are Republicans who don't fear, they have nothing to lose against Trump. Trump has already signaled them out. They've already said that they're terrible people. Why would you continue to vote for this guy?
Okay.
And I think that this is going to be an interesting series of votes. We'll see when the discussion about Iran continues to come up. This is like unbelievable, Andy. This is unbelievable. So.
Unbelievable. And you're right. The YOLO Republicans, these Republicans that are not coming back, they do have 7 months to do whatever they want to do. And we've seen it with one of your elected officials, Dave, down in North Carolina, right? You've got a senator that's been turned away, and he's become more and more vocal, pushing back against this administration. You've got others like Bacon in Nebraska who are retiring, just vocally saying, this is all bullshit. This is not America. They have 7 months to push back on this president. A lot of things can happen in that time. If we continue to see blatant corruption, that could point towards even impeachment of Republicans going along to support that potentially, right? But it's a rejection of some of the nonsense coming out of the White House. Also gives 7 months of time for individuals like Thomas Massey, one of the most vocal leaders on the Epstein files, to really push for some level of accountability on the Epstein file. So there's a window here where some of these Republicans have been beat up by the president can sort of more freely express themselves. And there's others who should be looking at this and taking note. Others who have tried to appease this president at times by holding his balls for him a little bit while trying to keep some distance. It doesn't work. With this president, either you're all in or you're nothing. And if you're not all in, he's coming after you. So there's already talk about folks like Rand Paul, who have been a little bit of a thorn in the president's side, even while supporting him, even while pushing for the ballroom funding, right? But they're saying, hey, the president's going to come on Rand Paul, and others who haven't been fully on board with everything this corrupt president wants them to do. And so Republicans, if they don't get their heads out of their asses and realize that there is no winning, either you sell your soul or you lose. Like they've got to come together and reject this administration. It's fucking disgusting. And those that can't pull themselves together are fucking pathetic and traitors to these United States of America.
Yeah, it's just it's outrageous. So, okay, Andy, I don't want to do a full segment on this next thing here, but it's kind of still politics thing. The Axios did a survey of like the top brands. They do this
Yeah.
annually.
Yeah.
Top brands, and like the top ones among Democrats and Republicans. I'm going to give you some of those brands,
Yeah.
Andy,
Okay.
and I want you to tell me where you think they would go.
Like Democrat or Republican?
Yeah, where they were favorable among
Okay.
Democratic and Republicans. Does that
Okay.
sound
I like
like
it. I like it. Yeah. I'll
you
probably get it
made
wrong, but I
that?
like it. Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it.
Okay. Okay. All right. All right. So let's go with a couple here. What about Amazon.com?
With the way that Jeff Bezos is getting out there and saying this president's doing a pretty good job and how he's matured, I think that's going to go to Republicans right now. Although I'm a happy Amazon user, I'm going to admit it, but I'm going to say Republican.
Yeah, it definitely is Republicans. It's number seven on their list. Bezos' comments this week have been fucking. I don't need to pay more taxes. Like,
Yeah,
what are you giving more due? Kind of like, wow,
he's not helping himself. I know he's not helping himself.
gravy guy. Okay, what about Trader Joe's, Andy? Where do you?
But that's lefty's favorite.
Yeah, it is a top one. It's number two on the lefties. But do you shop at Trader Joe's? I go there from time to time. It's pretty good.
I have been there. I don't go there regularly, but I have been there. Mama Jabour's a big fan. There's one locally here now. I just haven't gotten out there very often, but I actually really like it. It's a very cute, fun little place, and there's all sorts of mischief you can get into while you're there. That things you shouldn't be buying.
Yeah, yeah, that definitely. Okay, what about Nike, Andy?
Nike, Portland. I'm going left.
Yeah, it is. I would have thought that might be on the Republican side, but it's number 10 on the list there. So that's not too bad. How
Yeah.
about Toyota?
I don't. I don't know. Where does a Japanese car manufacturer fall on the political spectrum? Toyota. I'm trying to imagine who gets into Toyota. Toyota made the Prius, I think. I'm gonna go left.
You're going to go left. No, it is actually number three on the Republican side.
I didn't know. I
I
didn't
would not
know.
have thought that either. I would have gone a little left here. Um, how about Anthropic, Andy?
I'm going right.
I would have gone hard right too. I would have gone near the top. It's number four on the Democrat side. Anthropic. Wow. It's
Interesting. Maybe some of the recent pushback against DoD, maybe that got them some support. Look,
maybe.
Anthropic's founder, like all the big tech founders, he's kind of a douche, right?
Yeah.
He said some good things. He's had some good thoughts, but kind of a douche, and has been a proud supporter of this president. So, like, interesting to see that. But okay, all right, Anthropic. Okay, we'll see.
What about Samsung, Andy? We'll do this last one.
Again,
Samsung.
these international manufacturers, I don't even know where to start. I don't know where. I'm gonna. Toyota was right. I'll say also right.
It's actually both, Andy. It's number nine on both. Ironic.
Samsung's buy.
Yeah, Samsung is by.
Samsung's buy. I didn't know that. All right.
The other one that was by was Chewy, the pet thing.
Yeah.
Number three for Democrats and number eight for Republicans.
Well, yeah. I guess they're both kind of like drag queens, right?
They
Drag queens are
are.
supported by the left, and while their right is very hostile towards them, we know that Republicans actually love drag queens. It's just they don't like to admit it. So maybe Chewy and Samsung are along those lines. Like they know they love it, but they need to publicly deny it. I don't know, but hey, good job, Chewy and Samsung for walking both sides of the fence successfully. Our byproduct lines. Good job. So celebrate America. Celebrate all people. Hey, it's almost Pride Month. Let's celebrate. Celebrate.
It's almost Pride Month, June 1st.
That's right.
All right. Or I don't know. Have we banned that in the United States? I can't. I don't
I'm
know.
waiting to see how we handle Pride Month and Juneteenth this year. I'm excited to see how we handle that from the White House's level. But we'll be fucking celebrating, Dave. We'll celebrate this
We
beautiful
are
country.
celebrating,
That's
yep,
right.
both
That's
those.
right.
So, okay, just real quick on the Democrats' top five were Patagonia, Trader Joe's, Chewy, Anthropic, and Eli Lilly. I would not have thought Eli
Interesting.
Lilly, but
A
okay.
lot of those Zempic type fans out there. Not I forget what Eli Lilly's version is called,
Uh,
but yeah,
then-
GLP-1s for the win.
there you go. Republicans, Aloe Yoga.
I don't even know what the
That's
fuck that is.
that's a clothing brand, but I know because my daughter and my daughter and all the young kids are using it. But I'm not sure why that's number one on Republicans. But SpaceX, all
Yeah,
those fucking Muskites.
I'm forgetting the SpaceX today, but what a fucking mess that is. But anyway, continue.
Maybe we can get into that later.
Yeah.
Toyota, Nvidia, and Athletic Brewing Company. ABC. I didn't. Okay.
I guess that's the good ABC as opposed to ABC News, which the right
Yeah.
hates.
Fake news. So, okay, Andy, let's get into our likes, dislikes. We got to wrap the week on something
Yeah.
positive here. Likes, dislikes for the week. I'm going to start because you went
Okay.
first last time. I believe
Sure.
in turn, like
Yeah.
let's treat each
Sure.
other
Sure.
fairly here.
Yeah. Yeah.
As I see your fingers just continue to like type and
Always.
so,
I'm always
um,
making notes, Dave. Making notes.
yeah. So talking likes, dislikes. So I'm going to start with my dislike. I had a hard one this week, Andy, because last week the University of Virginia lost their lacrosse coach,
Yeah.
Lars Tiffany, who they won two lacrosse championships, and they fired him. And in the following 10, 12 days, it's just been a shit show what's going on, like all this drama going on in this. So I had thought that was going to be a like or dislike of the week. But no, Andy, I'm going to baseball for my
Mm,
dislike of the week.
mm.
And they've done a lot of great things this over the last couple of years. The pitch clock has been a great thing. The new
Yeah,
strike zone, the ABS strike zone, has been a huge crowd pleaser and great for the game,
yeah,
all to streamline the efforts. But I'm going where data analytics has fucked this game over so hard that there is a role for data in baseball. There's use it to set your defensive positions, use it to like understand situational baseball. But we have now gotten to the point where it is so absurd
yeah.
that you like I look at my Baltimore Orioles and look, 2 3 years ago, they were a great pickup story. 2 years ago, they were even bigger pickup story. And like I was really loving where they were going, what they were doing.
Yeah, when we
But
talking about it.
yeah, I mean, they have a lot of great things going on. But Andy, their data analytics has prioritized swing rate and hard hit balls as, what they really should be doing
Are
here.
we talking sports or porn right now? Just asking.
Exactly, exactly. But they prioritize these things, and what it winds up with is the Baltimore Orioles lineup is filled with individuals who have a 159 batting average, a 186 batting average, a 220 batting average. The other day they had a lineup with four people under 200 in it. Like that used to be the joke. If you couldn't hit 200 in baseball, you were
Yeah.
out of baseball. But Andy, they have hard hit balls. Let me tell you something. The Tampa Bay Devil Rays are ranked last in hard hit balls. The Orioles are ranked sixth in hard hit balls, and like they hit hard balls. This is great. This is great. In addition, Andy, the Orioles they prioritize swing rate. How high can the strikeout rates are through the roof now. If you used to strike out 100 times in a season, you were out, Andy. But now we love it because you may hit a home run every 3 games or something. The Orioles are near the bottom of baseball, and the Tampa Bay Devil Rays have the best baseball. Like this analytics has gone too far.
Yeah.
Data doesn't always equal results, people. Like, fucking, it's driving me crazy.
Yeah, it's one. I love this entire conversation of swingers and hard hitting balls, but it's it just like with AI, right? It helps, but it shouldn't replace. And in sports and pro sports, data and analytics help. They don't replace good coaching, right? They don't replace looking at your players, assessing your team, and knowing what you need to do. That's the value of the human, right? It's really getting into the minds of the players, understanding your team, looking at what you need to do, making hard decisions on who you sign, who you don't sign. I love the way my Lions do this, right? They pass on higher ranked players to bring in guys that are culture fits. Fucking the analytics aren't going to tell you that kind of thing. And I think more and more in pro sports, you're seeing coaches and managers looking to data to provide the answer for them. You just need to fucking think, man. Like, do your job. You're being paid millions to do your job. And I love the way you called out the results, right? The results are just relying on the data, aren't getting the Orioles what they want. Other teams are getting more because they're being coached and managed effectively. Like there's a very clear lesson in that, right? The human has a fucking role, but we're passing up on that.
Yeah, it's driving me freaking crazy. So, all right, Andy, that was my like of the week, or dislike of the week. Where are you going with yours?
I'm just so focused on hard hitting balls and how many times you said that. Like I loved it. So Dave, I'm gonna stay with politics and our fucking furor for my dislike of the week. I was gonna talk about the arch as one of those things. And this again, for those that miss it, like the president is using Congress from 1924 to justify building this monstrosity without going to Congress for approval. Absolute bullshit. But I'm gonna go to another one. Say two flag, Dave. This week, the president spoke at the U.S. Coast Guard Academy at their commencement in a long, rambling, nonsensical speech. I mean, it was just heaven have mercy on all those sitting in attendance during just absolute fucking nonsense. Nonsense. But nonetheless, the president was there. this, and I know a lot of people like to poo-poo on the New York Times. I think there's still a lot of good reporting coming out of the New York Times. Like there's still a lot of good reporting coming out of the Washington Post. There's still good journalists that are out there. But Trump, this is him talking at the Academy. I'm thrilled to become the first president to ever give a second keynote address to this storied institution. The New York Times quickly points out Bill Clinton did it twice, so did George W. Bush and Barack Obama. That's every fucking president that preceded Trump except for Joe Biden. It's just the bullshit this president says, whether he knows he's lying, didn't bother to check and just says shit that he wants to say. It's just insane. And so the delusional insanity of the president of the United States of America is my dislike of the week every day, every hour. But for this week's segment, Dave, it's my dislike of this week ending on May 22nd. Absolute fucking bananas, our president.
But that's the thing, Andy, is like these are just further, he just lies and expects them to be true. Like he just says these things and doesn't care. Like he just makes this shit up. I'm the first person to ever walk out my front door every day. Like, oh my God, it's so great. What a great president, inspirational. Yeah, fuckhead. So Andy, I'm gonna keep my likes simple because but
You going
my
back to hard
like
hitting
is that
balls?
yeah, it
Yeah,
is freaking Memorial Day weekend, Andy.
yeah,
And
yeah.
I like the fact that we're gonna come, I hope we're gonna come together and celebrate and recognize those who made the ultimate sacrifice. This is again, sometimes people confuse Memorial Day with Veterans Day and stuff like that. This is to remember those who have died and given their lives for the ultimate sacrifice. It's to remember the families whose loved ones gave up all so that we can have the freedoms that we have today. And look, our country is not in a great shape right now, but we have men and women who constantly go to the line to, give up for whatever reason from all different types of backgrounds and serve for this country. And that's just my like of the week. I'm just going to keep it simple.
Yeah, no, I'll celebrate that with you, Dave. It's an important American holiday. It's both a time, for solemn remembrance and a time for celebration. We celebrate the start of summer and burgers and hot dogs and barbecues and friends and family as we should, but we also need to pause and reflect on how we get to celebrate those wonderful things. And it's for all those that have given themselves, right? This holiday isn't about the yous and the me's and other veterans, right? Although we might appreciate it differently, but it's about all of those that have fallen in service to this country, to include the Americans that have fallen in service to Iran, just over this last year, right? We've just pause and remember their sacrifice. I always, I lost far more people than I'd like to think about, Dave, in my three deployments. There's always one guy that comes to mind in particular. Brian Freeman always comes to mind. I wasn't very close with him. I've talked about this before, but he was recalled with me, and just his spirit and his like the way he approached it to have his life horribly lost in Afghanistan just hits me differently than all the others. I always remember him first and foremost as an approach more than it is a time to honestly remember those who have given it all, and then to celebrate the beauty of America. So I'm really grateful that you called that out. And Dave, maybe before I get into my maybe we can talk about, one of the things that we do to remember the holiday.
Yeah, so on Monday, I think we've done it now. Might be the third year in a row,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah, that we've, on Memorial Day, Andy and I put on a backpack, we put on our ruck, and we go for a little walk in remembrance of those who have given the all for their country.
right.
Andy tends to go a little bit longer than I do, but at the same time is it's a period to reflect and it's a period to go through and remember those and we welcome like it's Andy and I are doing it, but we welcome others to join us. We're not doing obviously I do mine in Charlotte, Andy does his in Virginia. We welcome those who can join us. I'm happy to walk with somebody in Charlotte if they want to come walk with me. I know, Andy, you're gathering a crew there. So,
Yeah.
but even if you're on your own, whether you go 500 feet, a mile, 2 miles, whatever it is, I would encourage everyone to just spend some time on Monday with a walk in remembrance to tag along with Andy and I.
Yeah, that's right, Dave. I mean, like rucking, we're just walking. You don't have to carry a bag, but it's something that every military member does, right? And Dave and I started our fair share while we were serving in the Army. It's a way to sort of pause and do something that honors those that have served and those that have fallen. And to me, when you're tired and you're out there just moving around and walking, it's a good time to just quietly remember and think about and reflect on those that have given. So I love the fact we've been doing this, Dave. I love this is our third year doing it. Yeah, if anybody's in the Northern Virginia area, wants to come into Leesburg, got a meetup point, going to be walking on the Washington Old Dominion Trail for a few miles, probably do about 4 miles in group. I'm going to do a few miles beforehand, I think, with a ruck, without a ruck. Join us if you want. Love to see people out there. You can reach out for details. But yeah, I'm glad we're doing it, Dave, and look forward to sharing about it on the other end.
All right. What you got for your like of the week, Andy?
Hey, Dave, I'm going to go back to where I often like to go because it makes me happy, which is music. Dave, a lot of good new music coming out today, some new songs, some new albums. But earlier this week, the Black Crowes and Whiskey Myers released a cover of a 1973 Rolling Stones song, Star Star. And when that song came out, a lot of people felt it was way too vulgar, way too dirty, talking about fucking and clean pussies. And the song was really a tough one for the Stones in a sense, but popular nonetheless. The Black Rose Whiskey Myers just put a cover of that song back out this week. It's a fun song. The Black Rose album that came out this year was a little bit underwhelming for me. I'm going to go see them later this summer. Didn't love the album. This song, it's a fun rock and roll song, man. It's just got a good energy, good vibe, calling back to the Rolling Stones, one of the world's greatest rock bands. A lot of fun. So you can check that song out and a lot of other really good new music coming out today.
Yeah, there you go. All right, Andy, we went really long today, continuing our big balls and swingers theme.
Hard
Um,
hitting balls, baby.
hard hitting balls. I would also, Stephen Colbert's last episode was last night. You
Right?
can catch it on YouTube. Probably some really good stuff. But Andy, I hope you have a good weekend. Good Memorial Day. We don't typically pod on
Yeah.
Memorial Day,
Yeah.
so we'll take that day off, but we'll join back together on Wednesday. Check us out on socials, though. You might see some posting of us doing our ruck, and would again encourage you to reach out to us on our socials. Let us know if you want to join. We're happy to get out there with you. But with that, Andy, I will catch up with you next time.